Good morning, even afternoon, folks. This is Cal Banner, and welcome to the Cal Banner Report. Tonight, we have a very special message, the Enforcer and I do. A message going out to a very, very precious demographic that we all know and love in this here United States, and that is ladies. What we're going to talk about is dating and why it sucks these days. Because dating does suck, and I mean, even women agree. Dating these days sucks, and I don't know exactly who made it suck. I don't know if it's the men's fault, if it's the women's fault, but all I know is that going out on a date these days is more of a chore than a pleasure. It used to be fun. You'd meet somebody that you liked, you'd go on a couple of dates, you had a good time, you'd kiss, you'd dance, you'd swoon. I mean, it was a great time. It was a great time to be alive. But now, dating has become like, I don't even know, like getting a driver's license at the DMV. There's all these rules. Like the 3-day rule. Not quite sure who came up with that bit of nonsense, but for those of you who don't know what the 3-day rule is, it basically goes like this. You get a girl's phone number, and you're supposed to wait 3 days to call her. That is the appropriate amount of time. Now, I don't know who ever sat down and actually said, okay, this is the right amount of time to wait to call somebody, but that was the rule. So now you got a lot of people out there who are like terrified to call people they like because they're not within the outside of the 3-day rule yet. It's stupid. And let's talk about something else. Let's talk about cell phones. Now, this is something that I've noticed. Now, I own a cell phone. Everybody owns a cell phone these days. But what is the deal with people taking their cell phones on dates and texting and chatting throughout the course of the entire date? It's horrible. It's unacceptable. In fact, Enforcer, what do you think about people who take cell phones on dates and talk the whole time? Yeah, that is a nod or a shake in the negative, saying that if you should be on a date with the Enforcer and start talking on your cell phone, you just might find yourself on the receiving end of the BAM! Yes, and believe me, you would much rather get cuddled by the Enforcer than slammed by the Enforcer. Um, but either way, folks, I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. It's getting to where dating is this nerve-wracking, horrible experience because of all these policies and standards that God only knows who has put on dating. Now, I'm not just here to slam the ladies. Don't get this wrong. There's also these books out there that I've noticed some friends of mine reading here lately. In fact, these books, I believe there's one out there called I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell or something along those lines. And it's supposed to be these guides written by these men of the do's and don'ts of dating, how to get laid, how to get kissed, how to get phone numbers. And I'm just like, whatever happened to just doing what you, the dater, feels is the right thing to do to get the date? I mean, you're reading some book by some jackass out there that's saying, you should do this, that, or the other in order to pick up women. And I'm just thinking to myself, who is this author to tell anybody what they should do? And it even says on the back of the book that, so and so has been with so many women and all this, that. I'm just like, guy, if you are that pathetic that you actually will buy this book and read this book and follow its advice, well, you definitely are the Cal Banner Report big drip of the day. That is what you are for reading that book, for buying it, really, and then reading it. You are the Cal Banner laughing stock of the day. Yes, so you just received the Enforcer point of the finger. You're a marked man out there. You don't want to be on the end of that finger, trust me. It's kind of hard to try to be a Don Juan Suave when you're on the receiving end of a fully loaded Enforcer finger. And it gets even worse. I was watching this show on, it was either MTV or VH1. I'm thinking VH1. And it was, they would take these poor, pathetic men, if you can even call them men. And apparently, like, one of the guys had never been on a date. One of the guys was like 25 years old and had like never been kissed. And these three jagoffs, these two men and this woman, are like their dating coach. And they take them out to clubs, which, according to the Cal Banner Report statistics, clubs are like the absolute worst place to ever try to meet anybody. And the Enforcer agrees. But they would take these poor, sad, clown shoe, train wreck excuses for human beings out to these clubs. And they had all these, like, really technical terminologies for going over there and trying to talk to people. Like, if there were two girls there, I think that was called, like, a two-set. And if there was three girls there, and so forth and so on. And they got all into this, like, overly technical methodology of picking up on women. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Is this really what dating has come down to? I've got this like 35-year-old skis bag with dreadlocks over here telling me how I should be picking up on a woman. I mean, give me a break, guy. I mean, he looked like a cracked out lead singer of Korn. I'm like, look, Jonathan Davis, you are not, pal, and you certainly don't have the right to tell anybody how to date. But apparently they were like the big experts, and I'm just thinking to myself, Jesus Christ. I mean, when your life has gotten to the point where you need these people to help you try to go out and get a date, then my friend, you have failed. You have failed miserably. In fact, you get the Cal Banner Report. Let's celebrate your failure of the night. Look at that. Yes. We are celebrating how pathetic you are. So here's the bottom line. Here's the sum up. This has kind of been a somewhat of a negative Cal Banner Report. I understand that. But it's also something that we all go through. Here's my advice to everybody out there is stop with the rules. Stop with the stipulations and the policies and everything else, and just date and just have fun. If you like somebody, call them. If you don't like somebody, don't give them a fake number. Don't sit there and mess with their heads. Just say, hey, not interested. And ladies, this one is directed to you. You may, all the females out there may not realize that the words, let's just be friends, that is a lot more damaging to a man's ego than I think any of you guys think. It's probably better that in the future you just say, let's not hang out, as opposed to let's just be friends. Because frankly, look at it this way. If the guy's asking you out, chances are he's not looking for a friend. Now, he's probably got friends, or if he's one of those guys from that show, probably doesn't have any friends. But bottom line is, ladies, I mean, the whole let's just be friends thing is terrible. If you wear it out, in fact, I just don't even want to hear it. I don't think anybody wants to hear it. So just be honest. Date. Try to enjoy it again. And here's one little piece of advice for any of you ladies out there that might be interested in the brawny individual behind me. And he will agree. You don't snuggle with the enforcer. You just strap yourself in and feel the G's. Folks, this has been the Cal Banner Report on dating. I hope you found it informative. If there's anything you'd like to hear me rant about, please feel free to post it, request it, and the enforcer and I will be more than happy to deliver. In the meantime, have a great night. Don't go to clubs to find a girlfriend, and don't tell people you just want to be friends. This is Cal Banner, signing out.